Hello everyone, my name is Dustin and you are watching my YouTube channel Untitled Chapter Studios. We're going to unbox this box here today. We have some stuff from War Banner. It's no longer War Banner though, it's called Footsore Miniatures and Games, something like that. Warhammer tried to stop War Banner and I won't get into that, but we're gonna open up this box here containing Mortal Gods. It's not the first unboxing, but I'm just going to do my little bit on it. But before I get into that, well, I'll just tell you as I'm opening it here. I haven't done any videos for a while. I've been really busy. The house is a complete and total chaos zone right now. The small businesses that we're doing has taken up all our space. Our bedroom is like a warehouse. Our kitchen is an assembly line. It's just a mess. So I haven't been in the best of states to film anything. I really want to get back into the Hail Caesar walkthrough stuff, but I simply have no space. So as soon as it clears up, we will be playing around with more of the rule sets and just walking through with it. So I like to do my unboxings right from the original package in case something goes amiss. So alright, let's open it. And right away we get War Banner, aka no longer War Banner, it's Footsore Miniatures now. Great little thank you card here. Okay, I got some miniatures here because I did the pre-order. We're going to look at those. We've got two metal miniatures here. There's one fellow that's going to be leaping in the air, and another guy who has let's take a look at him up close. I'm so glad they're metal miniatures. I like their resin miniatures, but I had some issues with them breaking on me. So I'm glad they've sent me metal instead of resin. But yeah, these look really good. We'll open them up soon. Here's the price I paid for it. And yeah, we're just going to pop this open. The big box. Come on. See if I can slide it out. I'll try and slide it out on my own. The Mortal Gods box. Okay, it's not small, it's a whole game in a box. This game isn't, and this box isn't like other games. It's not like Hail Caesar where you can just go get a rule book and supply your own miniatures. It comes with cards and its own specific dice, from what I understand, its own specific basing. So you kind of need a core box to play until they release the separate pieces online. They haven't yet. I typically don't buy into these games because I like the games where I can just supply my own dice and my own models. But because they're Greeks and I love classical stuff, I thought it would be a good little game to get into. So yeah, Mortal Gods is hoplite warfare, and it's skirmish games in ancient Greece, which at first to me seemed strange because hoplite's doing skirmish. You'd expect the phalanx to be full of tons of guys, but here you can see right on the back that they are in a little skirmish game going there. So you've got the different bases, you've got some hoplites that are going to be in the box set here. There's cards. On the back here, it just tells you some more information, explains to you what comes in the box. We've got 16 mercenary hoplites, 8 unarmored, 8 peltasts. What else is in there? Slingers, 6 of them, 163 cards, tons of cards. So make sure if you get this box to get some card sleeves. There's also a roster and phalanx card, injuries, gifts, omens. We'll look at some of those. The rule book should be in there, some reference sheets, activation markers, measuring stick, yeah, and the dice. Okay. And you'll notice here it says Victrix. Isn't this from War Banner, aka Footsore Miniatures? No, it's not only them, but they have Victrix miniatures in here. So the plastic miniatures that come in this box are all from Victrix. So let's open them up and take a look. Let's just slide a knife along the top as I scratch this beautiful artwork. Probably not a good idea. I should probably open it from a better spot. How about right here? There's an opening. Right down here. So, maybe I'll speed this up. Come on, utility knife, okay. So, open sesame, here I go. Ah, that's supposed to. Okay. Okay, let's open and see what's inside. So the first thing here seems to be the rule book, and it's just in a soft cover. Makes sense, you wouldn't want it to be too heavy or anything like that. So we've got the rules here, and Just take a quick look. I won't get too much into this. You'll have to go pick it up for yourself. I want to read through this here. It's not a very big rule book. It is just a skirmish game, so I imagine that the rules aren't too intense here. And they've got some very nice pictures in the beginning, the intro and all that. There's our friend Fatus, if that's how you pronounce it. Fatus. The Fatus, Fatus, I don't know. He looks like a Spartan, right? Don't tell him that on the group. He's an Athenian. Anyway, so through this book here, you're going to have the game elements and a bunch of other. You got to have, okay, I have to get a bag for this game too to hold all these contents in. But yeah, this is looking like a nice setup rulebook so far. I won't get too much into here. I just like to flip through really quick when I get a rulebook, see if any pages fall out. But no, it looks well constructed. One thing I noticed that Andy Hobday on the Facebook group was telling people, I don't know if it was Andy, but someone else was saying that the box contains 2 quick reference sheets, and it's actually only got 1 cardboard reference sheet. The second one is at the back of the book. So that's what they meant by having 2 reference sheets, which is very obvious to me here. I don't know if that's, the back is there. Okay, so yeah, it's just the back page of the book. That's all it is. It's just the other reference sheet is on the book. So keep it in the book, take it out, whatever you want to do. I'd probably just leave it. So, right, you get the reference sheet with the actions and game round, which we'll get into later. I'll do some battle reports, I'm sure, at some point. Here we've got a whole, wow, yeah, they weren't kidding when they said this came with cards. Look at that. I can play a lot of poker here. There's all sorts of cards here. There's a gift set, which is, I guess, gifts in the game. There's the, what is this, recruitment set, which is probably all the hot plate types. Yeah, there's a Lotiagos, however it's pronounced. So, that's what I see there. There's supposed to be omen cards in here, but maybe they're stuck in there. We'll open them in a moment. Pull out all the contents here. A whole bunch of dice with cool looking skulls. You get a chopper leaf blade going, a crossed one, they're like pirates or something like that, and an hoplon, and I thought I saw a Pegasus. Yeah, there's a Pegasus here. So you get some specific dice meant just for this game. You also get a regular die in here, right? Just a regular 6-sided die. I really like the look of these red ones. There must be wounds or something like that. You get some tokens. Here I see 3 red ones, a whole bunch of black ones, just some basic beads. So there must be some marking going on in the game. Again, I haven't played or paid attention how to play much from what other people have posted, so this is all new to me. Let's look at the Victrix stuff. Right away here, some Victrix guys off the sprue. I mean, it didn't have a lot of padding in it, so it's kind of expected that things will bounce around. But we get some slingers here. We get 6 slingers, I think the box had said. Yeah, it looks like they're all accounted for, and I'll just show you here. Victrix always is amazing at quality. There's the back side of them. And these miniatures themselves, I'll show you with the medals when I look at the medals a bit closer. They will match up fairly well with Victrix. They're about the same kind of size. A bit bigger than the Warlord games, Victrix guys, but Victrix always has so much detail. You got a tiny little buckler for these slingers here if you want. Just some basic guys throwing rocks at their enemies. We got a whole bunch more white counters on top of the other counters. What else have we got going here? Here's the Mercenaries. Now it looks like one has fallen off the screen. Oh, that's not a Mercenary. These are these unarmored guys. The unarmored hot plates that Victrix has. Don't you just love all the folds and all the detail and the muscles on these guys? Victrix does a good job. I think I've shown this in another channel, but you're supposed to get, I think it was 8 of these unarmored guys, which is basically all just here, right? He just fell off the sprue, so there's 8 there, that's good. This is what I really am looking forward to, is the 16 mercenary hot plates. I'm gonna clear the back here a bit so you can see them. Let's clear this area, see them against the ground. But the mercenary hot plates, I've always wanted, I've never picked up, and it's just perfect that I got 16 in this set. These guys, these armored hoplites from Victrix were made before they're unarmored guys. So, let's see if the same is still true. Let's find their heads on here. Where are your heads? There they are. There's the ones that fell out of the box. But these heads on these sprues here, the older armored fellows, are just a tad bit bigger than their friends on this here. And I don't know if you can really tell here, but they're just a tad bigger. I think you can actually tell. So the older plastic hoplites are a bit bigger. If that bothers you, it doesn't really bug me that much because from 3 feet away, whatever, it's gonna work out. Oh, just hitting some styrofoam here behind me as I'm talking. But yeah, you get 16 of these armored guys, which are gonna probably make up the core of the box if you just stick with the box. And then you get 8 of their regular hoplites. You also get these peltasts in here. Okay, and I have 8 of them as well. If you do want to get extras of the Victrix ones here, you're going to notice something, and I think I've stressed this before in another video. The bodies for the peltasts are the exact same ones as the bodies on the unarmored hoplites. See you there. I don't know if you could tell the difference or not, but they're the exact same bodies. The heads, I believe, are also the same. That was the unarmored hoplites. Oh no, the heads aren't the same. The heads are different. No, they actually are the same. The bottom half is the same. So Victrix didn't really do much for originality in the making of these sets. The peltasts and the unarmored hoplites are the same body set, many of the same head sets. You do have a bit of a variation with heads between them. If you look at the top part, a bunch of heads fell out, but you get more of an unarmored kind of, I want to call them a farmer look here, with javelins and the like, some spears. If you want to do some, maybe you can convert them into, what are they called? The Theropula, those chainmail guys later on, I don't remember. And then here you get some alternative heads. So, I mean, the 2 sets are identical, save the shields and whatever's above them, those heads. So I don't mind that so much because you can at least expect all your guys to look similar or have the same kind of build. Here's all the heads that came off. No problem. I've got so many of these guys. I think I've got 3 of the unarmored box sets, so I don't even care. The basing system, which is apparently stuck here. These rulers, I don't know what these are, but you get some cutout rulers that are apparently for the game. I'm going to assume that these are in inches. I'm not sure. I'll have to look through the rules. But if they are, then that's your movement kind of a, we'll call them movement Dorian, the movement spheres. And then you get these MDF cutout bases, and you can see on the box art that I was showing you that, oh, there's all the heads, that the different hoplites are fielded on different circle bases and then put on those triangles. You can see here that the infantrymen, like the hoplites and the like, are all on these triangular bases, and then there's some heroes that are just simply loose, and there are some skirmishers in the back you see there that are just on circle bases. Now, this game has different circle bases. Your heroes and your commanders, you see how those bigger, these are 32mm, I believe. They're bigger, they're for your commanders and your leader in the game. And then you get smaller 28, 25, I don't remember the size. The smaller standard, 25mm, let's check the back of the box. I don't remember, but they're smaller standard ones. I'm gonna say they're 25mm circle bases that just fit into these, let's call them movement bases. And it's a very, it's very much like Test of Honor, the samurai game, or Gangs of Rome, where they kind of have their own movement bases, and then they're all on circles. In my other video where I talk about it, I've actually had Sarissa Precision make me square bases for all these guys, because I'm not a fan of circle bases when I can use them in big, massive armies, right? Like Hail Caesar, I like to rank and file on square bases. So I have all these made in squares. I will probably end up trading or selling this off to someone because I personally don't need any more of these. Maybe I'll give it to someone who wants to play and doesn't have the other stuff. But yeah, that's all the box content that I see here. Let's throw these heads back in there, and the models. I won't go through too much of them as I think I've gone through a lot of the Victrix stuff in the past. I'm just really happy to get these mercenaries in. I've always just wanted these guys for the various heads. But anyway, and again, with these mercenaries, if you get the, there's a couple boxes. There's the Spartan mercenary box, the Athenian box, I think the Theban box. All of these guys, I think, are the same, except they have different accessories and heads, depending on the faction. I think it's mostly the heads. I only have the Athenian and the Mercenaries in here that I just got. So I'm sure the Spartans have some variants as well. Let's look at these cards. Okay, so I just popped open the cards there, and you have recruitment cards, they're called. You notice right away this one's a little damaged, but I don't mind so much. I'm not too picky. It's probably crushed by the weight of the plastic pressure holding in it. You get some leaders here. Oh, look at all these different... This is nice art here. Who drew it? I don't remember. I actually know, but I never remember if it was... I'm so sorry. I don't remember who draws these things. But here you get all these Lotagos, and here's some heroes, I'm assuming. So you get different units in this game. I don't know what the points are and stuff like that. The game does use points. There's a healer. Anitaros, Erartos, Etaros, I can't speak Greek. And then you get your regular hoplites. There's different hoplites in this game. There's experienced hoplites. If we go here, you get... Oh, there's lots of experience. You get... Oh, okay. You just get regular hoplites, so they have different stats if you're a more experienced hoplite or a smaller hoplite. I guess you have the type of base you'd be using there. There's armor values. We'll figure that all out later. These guys look like they're light hoplites. I think we were talking about that on the Facebook group, how there's experienced, regular, and lighter hoplites, which is good because you can have a whole bunch of unit variation. There's some, obviously, archers in here. I don't know if I'm missing any. Here's just a regular single. Okay, you can also field single guys. It's not just guys on bases, but it looks like you can just field the single version. Oh, there's some skirmishers. I won't go through all the art. The art's awesome, but I won't go through all of it. There's some more skirmishers. But yeah, you get a whole bunch of different cards with a bunch of units in there that are typical for the Greek classical era. What else do we got here? Recruitment card. Oh, there's some trophies and stuff in here. So objectives, I'm assuming. There's all sorts of units in here. I guess you can just field individual guys. Veteran archers. That looks like maybe I can use those if I make some archers. Oh, here's some other cards here too. What is this one here? This is a recruitment card as well. Heavy phalanx. Okay, in the game, units can join up and make a phalanx. So they've just included these cards here. It's like a wall of shields. There's certain abilities units have that they can join up, and these cards, I guess, represent the units when they join up. Okay, so that makes sense. That whole deck there is just different units and different, I guess, what would you call it? I don't want to say skills, but what those units can potentially become. So that looks all good. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all the details right now. I'll have to sleeve all of these and get some nice sleeves. We'll look at the gift set real quick here next too. And from what I'm seeing here in the other deck, there are a bunch of different cards here. I'm going to think there's omens here. Not sure if this is also an omen. Let's say these are gifts, but there's omens, gifts, and injuries that are also represented by cards here. So I'm assuming as you play, you put the cards down around among units, and it just kind of determines what's going on. Omens and gifts affect you negatively or positively in game. I won't get through all of them, but you know, there's some cool things here. You get the Serpent of Aegis, Cerberus there, Vulture's Feather. Oh, I guess if Vulture Feathers come, you're unlucky. I guess it depends on the culture. Courage of Zeus, so you're suddenly going to have Zeus's courage. What else do we have? We got the Aroma of Delphi. If you smell the aroma of Delphi, your mind will be clear, apparently. Fighting in the Shade. Obviously not a Spartan reference or anything like that. So there's a bunch. Reflections of the Water. There's a whole bunch of different omens in here that are going to affect the game when you play. Injuries, so you're gonna have injuries and stuff here that affect you while you're gaming, and I mean, you get a leg injury, it's gonna hurt. You get a torso injury, a head injury. Ooh, well, that's no good. What if it's just a concussion or a guy throws a rock and you survive? I don't want to have a head injury. You can't just be dead. Losing your shield, that's not good. Oh, and there's some more. Looks like omens. But yeah, there's injury cards. I'm assuming that's probably just for the heroes. We'll have to see though. And I'm not really sure what these are. These just look like status effects, I guess. Fury, I see Immortal, Haste, a Scout. And like I said, I'm not even sure. We'll have to go through it and see. But yeah, just a bunch of different stat cards. Now, like I said, I normally don't like to buy into these kind of games because in order to play these games, you need these cards. If you don't have these cards to market, there's so many cards in here, you know, you could just draw them out and try and remember them, but it's just easier with cards. And if there's a lot, like there's a lot of omens in here, it's better to have the cards to actually play the game. So I typically wouldn't get this kind of game, but yeah, it's Greeks and I know a few people who want to play, so I'm just gonna stick with it. Take a closer look at these metal models here. I'm assuming that the shields they've made are probably close to Victrix. You know what, let's pull the Victrix guys out. We'll use both of the armored and the unarmored hoplites here just to do some comparisons. So these are footsores medals here that are included with the pre-order. You get this nice little broken up, I can't even think of the column's name. Sure, it's a column. The Greek column here. And this guy here, you notice his pose, he's leaping. I guess he's supposed to be on top of this pillar, leaping in the air, all 300 style. So he's supposed to be a leader of some sort. I'm not sure what I'll use him as, but he looks like he's going to be fun to paint. Look at those abs. Just ripped. Don't mess with that guy. He gets a shield here, which is almost on par with Victrix. It might as well be on par with Victrix, so that's good. I know some models you collect have very different shields. If you use Foundry miniatures, for example, a lot of their hoplites don't have the same kind of dome shape as Victrix. So that means I can probably use the same decals, which is excellent. You get kind of a bendy spear here, which I assume goes with this guy. And this is nice. That guy can have a guy flying to the air. Let's make that a little more clear on the camera. He can have 3 head options. You get a guy who looks like he's from Corinth. You get a guy who shouldn't be out fighting, should be in the field farming with his beard, and then you get the Spartan Man. So I don't know what they're from, they could be anywhere. But yeah, this is really nice because I think with these heads, whatever I don't use there, I could probably get away with putting on some Victrix guys and they'll turn out rather nicely. Here's the other one that I think is excellent. Focus in there again. This guy is like the perfect pose to be like a leader of a rank and file. Hail Caesar set or maybe Impetus or something like that. So I will definitely end up putting him, not necessarily for this game, but like leading another unit or something like that. So how do these guys compare next to Victrix bodies? Well, one of the bodies fell off of here, so let's take a look. Side by side here, so far they're looking pretty good. I mean, I think, oh, I got a nasty cut there on my finger. Hope you guys aren't squeamish. But size-wise, I think the Victrix is still a little bulkier, but he might even be a bit taller. I mean, it's not really a big deal and shouldn't be. No, I think they'll mesh in well. They're pretty close. I'm gonna still say the Victrix guys are a bit bulkier, but I think from standing 3 feet away, you're not really gonna notice that. The head pieces here are another thing I'd like to compare. Let's look at some of them, because if I want to mix and match the heads on different guys, that may be an issue. Come on, let's use a Spartan Head here. And I always like to compare up close because it's just nice in case other people are watching. They're like, does it work? Yeah, you see that? They I think in the design of these hoplites that Footsore Miniatures is doing, they really try to match a lot of the Victrix heads, especially the unarmored Victrix and to some extent the armored guys. So a lot of the heads, if they're loose from Footsore Miniatures, you can probably just pop right on the Victrix plastics if you want some alternatives. Like I think this guy's head, if I don't use this metal head, it's going to be awesome. Metal head. This metal head here, he's going to be a front row guitarist in my division. I mean, he's going to be leading the hoplite unit, I think, just because his head will mesh well. And it'll be an alternative, right? It'll look really cool. And likewise, if you don't like these heads and you got some really sweet Victrix head you want, you can probably just plug the plastic on there. And it'll look pretty awesome, right? So yeah, that's my whole little unboxing of Mortal Gods. Looks like a fun little game. Some very interesting miniatures. I think for the most part that I should say Footsore Games now, Footsore Miniatures and Games, they have made a great box set. I know that in shipping out the pre-orders, some people were complaining that some items were missed. Footsore is a good model company to deal with, so if you are missing items, just contact them. They'll get back to you and replace anything that's out. I'm sure they'll do that. They're good people. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun game. And if you get a chance to play or have an idea to play, I will be doing some battle reports later. Thank you guys for watching. And if you want more content, like and subscribe to this channel. And we will see you next time. Have a good one.